Imagine someone looks you in the eyes and says, "You're pathetic. You'll never amount to anything." Your heart races, your fists clench, your thoughts spiral. But now, imagine something else, that same insult, and you feel absolutely nothing. No anger, no pain, just silence inside. That's not weakness. That's power. And that's exactly what this video is about. Every day, people throw words at you, online, at work, in relationships, hoping you'll crack. But what if you didn't? What if you had the ability to remain completely unshaken, like a mountain unmoved by the wind? That's not a fantasy. It's an ancient skill, one that philosophers like Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus mastered centuries ago. And today, you're gonna learn it. By the end of this video, insults will lose their power over you, and you'll gain something far greater in return: total emotional freedom. To understand how to stay calm when insulted, we need to understand something most people miss. It's not the words that hurt, it's your interpretation of them. The Stoics were crystal clear about this. If you are pained by anything external, Marcus Aurelius wrote, "It is not this thing that disturbs you, but your own judgment of it." In other words, words are just sounds. Criticism is just air shaped by a mouth. It's only when your mind gives meaning to that sound that suffering begins. The Stoics believe we cannot control what others say or do, but we can control our reaction. That gap between stimulus and response is where all your power lives. Most people never realize this. They hear an insult and they react instantly, emotionally, impulsively. But not you. Not anymore. Let's face it, most of us weren't taught how to deal with criticism, especially not personal, venomous attacks. So we internalize them. We hear, "You're not good enough," and instead of questioning the insult, we believe it. Why? Because deep down, we already fear it might be true. That's the trap. The insult only sticks because your ego is looking for validation. And when that validation turns into rejection, your mind explodes. But here's the thing. The Stoics didn't seek validation from others. They grounded their self-worth in reason, in virtue, in internal standards, not public opinion. So ask yourself, if someone insults you and you know who you are truly, then why should it bother you at all? Here's the first technique to staying calm. Pause. That's it. Pause. When someone insults you, don't respond. Don't even think about responding. Just stop. Take one breath. That single pause is the difference between being a puppet of your emotions and being the master of your mind. Epictetus taught that we should always insert a moment of awareness between what happens and how we react. You get a hate comment on social media? Pause. A co-worker mocks you in front of others? Pause. Don't let their fire set your forest ablaze. In that moment of pause, ask yourself a simple question. Is this within my control? If the answer is no, let it go. If the answer is yes, respond with calm, reason, and clarity. The second Stoic tool is reframing. This means changing the way you interpret the insult entirely. Think like this. Is this true? If yes, thank them. They just gave you free feedback. Use it to improve. If it's not true, then ignore it. Their words are meaningless. You win either way. The Stoics trained their minds to extract value from every situation. Marcus Aurelius didn't just ignore critics. He thanked them for sharpening his character. When someone insults you, they're handing you a test. Not a test of strength, but of wisdom. Can you stay centered? Can you see the insult as a lesson, or at the very least, a reminder of what you no longer need to prove? When you reframe, you shift power away from their words and back into your hands. Now let's go even deeper. The third technique is what I call the mirror test. The next time someone insults you, ask yourself, what does this say about them? 9 times out of 10, insults reveal more about the person speaking than the one being spoken to. Someone calls you arrogant? Maybe they feel small. Someone calls you fake? Maybe they live in fear of being exposed. This doesn't mean you judge them. It means you recognize the projection. Seneca said, "We are more often frightened than heard, and we suffer more from imagination than from reality." Most people are walking mirrors, reflecting their insecurities, pain, and fear onto everyone around them. When you understand this, you stop taking things personally. You see the insult not as a wound, but as a reflection of someone else's storm. Let's bring this all together. Today, you've learned 3 powerful tools from Stoicism: the pause, the reframe, and the mirror test. Together, they make you emotionally invincible, no longer a slave to words, no longer shaken by criticism. But remember, this is not a one-time insight. It's a daily practice. Every time you resist the urge to defend your ego, you grow. Every time you let a hateful comment pass through you without reaction, you build strength. You become a fortress. And here's the truth. You don't need to fight every battle. You don't need to explain yourself to every critic. You only need one thing: inner clarity. Because when you know who you are, no one's words can define you. Not today. Not ever. So next time someone insults you, don't argue. Don't defend. Don't collapse. Just pause. Breathe. Ask yourself, is this mine to carry? And if it's not, drop it. Choose the calm over the chaos. Be the stone, not the storm. And if this helped you see criticism in a new way, subscribe, because mastering your mind is only the beginning.